Let's get to this Lakers-Warriors series. And, of course, last night, the Lakers took command. They won game 4. Now they're up 3-1. Game 5 tomorrow night in San Francisco. Golden State fighting for its life. This would be the first playoff series that the Warriors in this era, Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, Draymond, Clay, so on and so forth, has ever lost. And, of course, it would come at the hands of LeBron James should the Lakers close this thing out. That's something for LeBron's resume. I mean, it's already going to be a great win, but for all the L's that the Warriors put on LeBron's resume, what was it, 3 finals losses to the Warriors? 3 to the Warriors, 2 to the Spurs, and 1 to Dallas. That's right. So this would be, I mean, it's not a finals, but it would be a little bit a nice revenge if LeBron can give them their first L in a Western Conference playoff series. They were 19-0, I believe, in the previous series in the West. You might be saying, well, how they didn't win it every year. Remember, a few years they didn't make the playoffs because of injuries. They made the play-in, got beat by the Lakers in that a few years ago. And then when they lost in the finals, when Kevin Durant got hurt, that was in the finals to an Eastern Conference team, Toronto. Same thing with Cleveland in 2016. So that would be a little something for LeBron to feel good about. But the score was 104-101. And great game. It's been a great series. I mean, 3-1 a lot of times is not, a fantastic series. But this one is. It's very competitive. We had a couple blowouts, but just the fact that you've got 5 future Hall of Famers, at least LeBron, AD, Steph, Dre, Clay, and of course, LeBron and Steph, the 2 preeminent players of this era going at it. The ratings have been through the roof, over 7 million for game 4, over 7 million for game 1. I'm not sure if 2 and 3, but they were probably in the same range. But it's been great. And last night came down to the end when Steph Curry missed 2 jumpers in the last 30 seconds. Anthony Davis D'ing him up. He took AD, shot like a 19-footer off one leg. Good look, went in and out. And then moments later, same situation, same area of the floor, takes a pull-up 29-footer and misses it over AD. Gets one more chance with a jump ball and gets the jump ball somehow, Steph, and throws it out of bounds, thinking maybe a teammate might be there, but should have called timeout. So Steph Curry was, for 47 minutes, the unquestioned best player on the floor. Better than Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis finished with 23 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 steals on 10 of 16 shooting. And obviously played great defense. LeBron James, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 of 25 shooting. Austin Reeves had a nice game with 21, and Lonnie Walker was the hero for the Lakers with 15 points, all of them in the fourth quarter off the bench. But the best player in the game for 47 minutes of the 48 was unquestionably Steph Curry. He had 31 points, 14 dimes, 10 rebounds, a triple-double, I think his third in the playoffs, and only had 2 turnovers, and one of them was on that last play. He's the reason, the whole reason, the Warriors even had a shot. Because Clay didn't give him much, 9 points. Jordan Poole has become downright unplayable, had 0 points in 10 minutes. Draymond had an uncharacteristically bad game, 8 points, 10 boards, 7 assists, but 5 turnovers, including a bad one, a horrific one down the stretch in the last minute on their last play of the game, their last gasp. Also had a layup off the Steph miss from 19 feet over AD, had a layup with Dennis Schroeder, 6-foot Dennis Schroeder on him, and kicked it back out to Steph. I mean, I get that's what they do nowadays, but you're down 1. Go up strong, young man. You 6'7", bully that young boy. Put a layup in and take the lead. My goodness. But anyway, Klay missed 2 big shots at the end of the game as well. Bad jumpers. I mean, I hate to, even Klay and Steph, I hate to say anything's a bad jumper with them, but Klay's were kind of rushed and guarded, contested. But the question now that's on the board is Steph Curry not clutch? You know Rob thinks he's not clutch. All my lessons I've taught Rob about this, all the schooling I've given him, he's still holding on to that theory. Because now, here's the number, Steph Curry, according to ESPN, 0 for 12 in the playoffs on potential go-ahead shots in the last 45 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime. 0 for 12. So here's my take on this. Because look, that's an ugly number. And it's a fact. So here's my thoughts on it. Is Steph Curry clutch? Yes, because I don't view clutch as the last shot. I don't view clutch as what you do in 10 seconds or whatever, 5 seconds, 2 seconds. I view clutch as what you do in the big moment. And we just saw a week and a half ago that Steph Curry dropped 50 in a game 7 on the road. They've been a terrible road team all year long. He drops 50 in Sacramento to get out of the first round. Hit 7 threes, by the way. And then last year in the finals, they're down 2-1 to Boston. Game 4, basically a must win. I mean, you go down 3-1, it's hard to come back. Drops 43 on a fantastic defensive team that had made Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo look pedestrian in games in that series. And then even going back 2016, I could go more, but they're down 3-1 to the Oklahoma City. Last 3 games, Steph averages 34, 33. Game 7 of that series, drops 36, hits 7 threes. And so those are clutch. I want a clutch game, not just a clutch shot moment. But I will say this, and this is where we got about to get Rob in. Steph ain't great or even good at the last shot. It's just undeniable. Now, I don't think he's shook. He doesn't run from the shots. He doesn't run from the ball. He shoots them with confidence. You saw last night he's taking the 2 shots. But for whatever reason, he don't hit them. And that is the way it is. I have to say that. And I'm going to say, look, and this is why when Jordan Poole took that last shot, and we'll get Rob in a minute. When Jordan Poole took that last shot a few games ago, and people jumped, oh, Steph's got to take it. How is Steph not taking that shot? It was all over TV. And I said, on First Things First, I said, Steph, I showed the graphic where he had missed. I think it was 3 for 13 in certain situations like that. And so I certainly don't mind Steph taking the shot. I feel good, fine with him taking the shot. But this notion that he had to take it was ridiculous. And I'll be honest, while I'm fine with Steph Curry taking that shot, last shot, if I had to pick one warrior to do it, I would pick Klay. And last night, Steve Kerr picked Klay. Because the play was drawn up for Klay Thompson when Draymond, but the Lakers knew the play. They read it, and they got a steal. Draymond threw it away because Lakers snuffed the play out. So that is my take. But yes, I believe Steph Curry's definitely clutch because he's given clutch performances in big games. Has not hit the last shot. I got to admit that. But for a game, he delivers.
Yeah, I do want to say, Chris, I listened to your double talk because that's what it was.
How's
double talk. Because you can't. You talk about, well, he's had clutch performances, but I will admit he hadn't been clutch. This is my.
I didn't say he hadn't been clutch.
This has always been my argument about Steph Curry. That if you're going to call somebody the greatest anything of all time, you're going to nitpick about his resume. That's all I've ever said. Not that he's a bum, not that he can't make three-point shots or whatever, but that I would not give him the ball at the end of a game and I would pick other people over him. That's why I've always said I can't consider him the greatest shooter of all time because his resume is void. Anybody who watched last night, void of those moments that you normally have when you're of that ilk. When people talk about, oh my God, Steph Curry's unbelievable. Did you see him tie the game last night against the Lakers or win it or whatever it is, a shot? No, people don't say that because he hasn't been able to do it. And now we're at the point now where it ain't the sample size is huge. 0 for 12 is a real sample. That ain't like 3 shots and he missed all 3. 12 shots, and I don't know. I mean, you're right. He doesn't shy away from them. But is it time to say he's a choke artist when it comes to the big shot and he can't make it? Most people would say that in those moments when you need it the most, and I get it. You're playing, talk about the other 3 quarters and the rest of the game. That's all good and well and done. But in some moments, I should say, you need your big guy to come through for you. And the Warriors needed to save their season, and they got the ball in the hands of their guy. You couldn't ask for anything more, and not once, but twice. And he still couldn't knock it down. And then that's why you got to look at Steph Curry. And people don't have to be on board with me when I say I don't think he's the greatest shooter of all time. But I'm telling you this, Chris, after last night, there's now doubt from other people who maybe were in that camp or maybe look at him a little different than they did just one night before. That's all I'll say.
Like who?
Like, I'm just saying fans. Because fans, people are like.
You saw stuff on Twitter or something?
No, people hit me up. I got students. I got people who argue with me left and right. If I showed you my email from students who are the biggest Steph Curry guys and argue with me in class, all text me or email me last night and go, kind of see what you're talking about now. That's it. They didn't concede or say that they gave it up, but now they have a big sample size and they looked at last night as something that you really tangible could look at and now have some doubt about him being the greatest shooter of all time.
My thing is, you said you don't have these moments? People don't talk about, wow, did you see Steph last night? Really?
No, I'm talking about to win at the end of the game.
Oh, at the end of a game.
Yeah,
I give you, he hasn't hit those shots at the end of the game. But it don't matter at the end of the game if you don't deliver for 40 minutes.
No, that's a cop-out, Chris. That's not how it goes.
Really?
That's not how it goes.
Says who?
Says me. Says
okay, that's because
you,
because
we talk about the end of the game.
Long.
We talk about Chris. The biggest heroes hit the home run in the 9th inning, not strike out, and you go, well, he had 3 home runs in the first 8 innings. He's a great player. If he strikes out in the 9th,
give me the Larry Bird shot you remember at the end of a game to win the game.
Chris, I'm talking about.
Give it to me.
I'm talking about. I don't have everybody's resume in front of me. I don't have everybody's.
I bet Steph you can name Michael Jordan's.
But Steph Curry, I have, and yes, I was in Cleveland covering the game when Michael Jordan made the shot to win the series.
So is Michael Jordan a better shooter than Steph Curry?
No, I would give Michael Jordan the ball to win the game any day over Steph Curry. That's what I'm telling you.
Your point is Steph's not the best shooter.
No, he's not the greatest.
Is Michael Jordan a better shooter?
That's not Steph is not the greatest shooter.
At the end of a game, I would give it to Jordan, who's not nearly as good a shooter as Steph Curry. But does that mean, that's what you're saying, does that mean he's a better shooter than Steph?
I'm telling you that Steph is not the greatest shooter because he doesn't come through when you need him. That is a big part of being the greatest.
You didn't need him?
No.
That wasn't the moment where they needed him?
He played fine. He played great. That's
fine.
Good.
He
but
had
0 for 12 tells you that there's something missing there. That
and
I don't know.
I got double talk.
That Steph's shorts are brown or something happens. I don't know what happens, but he can't make those shots. And he had open looks last night to help his team and to give them a shot at this series and tie it, or at least give them a chance to win. And it didn't happen yet again. That's all. And everybody watching with your own eyes, you can deny it all you want, but your eyes will tell you that Steph isn't clutch. And when you're not clutch and you look at somebody's total resume, he can make all the logo threes and dipsy doodle and shoot from half court and 3/4. All those are great circus shots. Give me the money shot. I want the money shot, and Steph has crapped out when it comes to the money shot. And there's no denying that. That's not hate. These are facts,
fine.
not feelings.
If you want to say the money shot, I said it before you got on the air, or you heard me. He hasn't hit him. I'm fine with saying that. But that doesn't mean he's not the greatest shooter ever.
It does, because that's a part of being a great shooter is making clutch shots.
He makes clutch shots. He made 7 threes in a closeout or win or go home game 2 weeks ago against Sacramento. Scored 50 points. Those are clutch shots. After winning 73 games and they're facing Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, he hits 7 threes and scores 36 points in game 7. Those are all clutch shots.
They're not all clutch.
Yeah, they are. The game is clutch. It's a must-win game.
No, but they're not all clutch because that's not how it's played.
You ain't going to be close at the end.
No, that's
really? You are?
Yes. No, that's not. Those are not what you consider. Those are a part of the game. And then there becomes clutch moments. The first basket he scored, Chris, was clutch in that game. In game 7, the first basket was clutch.
The whole game
No,
is
I'm
clutch.
asking you. The first basket wasn't clutch. No, it's not.
If it's a win or go home game, the whole
first
48
basket
minutes
is not clutch.
So then you think Michael Jordan's a better shooter than Steph Curry?
I'm telling you that Steph Curry's not the greatest shooter, and I would give the ball, this is my argument, to way more people than him if I wanted to win a game. That's not fine. The argument is not about Michael Jordan. The argument is about Steph Curry, Chris.
Rob, your point,
Steph Curry answered that question.
Rob, I ain't got to answer it again. I've said it like 5 times. I said I would give it to Clay before Steph. That don't mean I think Clay is a better shooter. And your point, you using your point to say, it's one thing if you want to say he's not clutch at the end of a game, or he hasn't made the money shot as you termed it. But to say he's not the greatest shooter, well then I guess everybody you would give the shot to in that case is a better shooter than Steph. And that would include Michael Jordan, maybe LeBron James, maybe Robert Horry, any host of people you might give the shot to. So I guess by your definition, it means they're better shooters than Steph.
No. Don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said.
That's what you're saying.
I'm telling you that Steph Curry, if you're going to nitpick about being the greatest of all time,
we can nitpick about everybody that's the greatest.
And
right.
There's no way that you can leave out an 0 for 12 and act like that shouldn't affect whether or not he's the greatest shooter of all time. He's a great shooter, but he ain't no greatest because he doesn't make clutch shots when his team needs it.